intended Enterprise to go like 7 some odd seasons, like Voyager and DS9 did before it. But when it only ended up going 4 or 5 seasons, whatever it was, they were like, "Oh crap, we got to come up with a season ender really quickly." And then they made up that thing, which wasn't very climactic for an ending, as opposed to something like Best of Both Worlds with TNG or Endgame with Voyager. Which, in my opinion, I feel, maybe because I'm biased toward Voyager, I feel Endgame was the best series finale of Enterprise, of Star Trek so far, of the ones I've seen. I truly think that Endgame is the best. Again, probably related to the fact that I'm biased toward Voyager.
And stay down! Someone clean up this mess.
No, it didn't have a T'Pol Archer hug. It had Archer hugging T'Pol, and T'Pol was very uncomfortable because she's Vulcan. Archer was the guy who played Archer, though, is a very good actor, I have to admit. It's really too bad that he didn't get to spend more time as a Star Trek captain, because he was fantastic as Archer. The character was great. The actor portraying Archer was great. But not just in like a Star Trek captain fashion, but even like with comedic, his comic relief was absolutely phenomenal. Timing was good. He was a really great actor.
Someone clean up this mess.
It's really sad that Scott Bakula is his name. Scott Bakula is his name. It's really sad that Bakula didn't get to stay as an Enterprise captain. Someone call me? I didn't specifically, but hi, Archer. Glad you're here. Oh, Archer, because I was talking about Captain Archer. I just realized that. I walked into that one. I stopped watching after I saw the spoiler with Riker, plus only character I partially liked was Archer. Well, that's actually the last episode. The episode of Enterprise involving Riker was the last episode of Enterprise. It was the series finale. They turned it into like a prequel, or not behind the scenes is the right word, but like a side story, I guess, that tied into an early season of TNG when Riker had to decide between betraying his former captain, who is now an admiral, or now a Starfleet admiral, and revealing a secret or betraying his current captain, Picard. The hard way to beat worst to best captain.
Not even a
Best to worst captain. Going from best to worst. Yeah, you're right. That is going to be kind of tough. This is going to be. There's a Sisko, Picard, Janeway, Kirk, Archer in that order. This one is going to, despite all what I've said over and over again now about Voyager being my favorite series, I can't not put Kirk in first place. I'm sorry. There's something about him being first, being the one that when I was a kid, I idolized William Shatner and James Kirk. Whenever I would play my friends and I would play like Star Trek. We would pretend like we were Star Trek captains and stuff. I always pretended to be Captain Kirk. So I can't put Kirk any lower than first place. Kirk is going to stay in first.
Down.
Second place, I would say, would be Janeway. Again, that's probably biased to Voyager.
This is too easy.
I think Sisko gets third place because Sisko did a whole lot of crazy shit. Not all of it above board in Deep Space Nine. Think about how he got the Romulans into the Dominion War. Think about how he poisoned an entire planet just to try to get Michael Eddington to surrender. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. He was crazy.
Not even a child.
He did things that was just, whew. Because he was a loose cannon. Yeah, Kirk was like, if there was like a Westerns, if you could compare like Star Trek to Western outlaw type thing, Kirk would definitely fit that stereotype. Because that's the kind of universe that Star Trek was in the Kirk era. Following Cisco would probably be Archer. I think Archer deserves a really high spot because Archer was the first like serious Starfleet captain that commanded the first Warp 5 ship and did an incredible amount of absolutely nutty, created so many precedences and was the beginning of so many of the common tropes and themes that we see in Star Trek, like the Prime Directive and other similar types of things. Archer was on the forefront, on the vanguard of all of that.
This is too easy.
And I feel that gives him he deserves a very high spot for that. Hello, Sudie. Welcome in. Archer I found to be heavily naive. I wouldn't say he was naive. I think it was because of lack of experience in his case. Again, he was the first captain to explore for humanity. Things like the Prime Directive, all the, like I said, tropes that we've talked about before in the TNG, TOS, Voyager, DS9, and all that era that is established rules and guidelines and stuff. They didn't have those guidelines so clearly when Archer was out there exploring. So he was kind of just going on what he felt was the right thing to do. Even if it, by later century standards, by 23rd and 24th century standards, would be heavily frowned upon.
Stay down!
Picard I like because he stuck to his principles very well. I like Janeway because she wasn't afraid to bend the rules and take risks that Picard wouldn't. Cisco was frankly a badass. Yeah, all three of those are a great way to describe those characters. Picard was definitely the diplomat, the peacekeeper. He would do everything in his power to keep from having to fire his phasers. But he also, if needed to be, had no problem telling Warp to fire. Riker was a little more gung-ho, which I kind of like. That's why I like Riker a little bit better than Picard. But that's a different kind of conversation. But yeah, Picard was definitely one to try to go through every diplomatic channel possible before even bothering to fire a torpedo. Janeway was trying to get a crew of 120 some odd people, however, whatever the crew complement of Voyager was, trying to get them back 70,000 light years to the Alpha Quadrant, back home, and was willing to A, do anything she needed to do to get that done, but also while B, maintaining her reputation, her that's what I'm looking for here. She wanted to always do the right thing. She wanted to avoid breaking the Prime Directive as little as possible. Especially when you compare it to another captain who is in the same situation as Voyager, the same situation as Janeway, but is quite literally the black and white opposite of Janeway in Captain Ransom of the Equinox, in the two-part episode Equinox. When Ransom was taking that species of alien and using them as power sources to power their ship. That's obviously to be blunt or to be vague, to understate the fact, bad. That was bad, you know, Janeway wouldn't ever dare to stoop to that level, even if it meant that Voyager and her crew would get home faster. She stuck to her guns better.
Someone clean up this mess.
Plus the fact that the Klingons, Romulans, Cardassians, even Borg respect for Picard. Yeah, the Klingons grew a huge respect for Picard, and that's, I would think, even more so than the Borg. That's a hell of an achievement. Being respected by the Borg, I mean, that's that's a big thing. But I feel being respected by the Klingons is even more, an even higher thing. Thank you for the follow, Dark Lord Sith Darth Zagrin. Love the name. Thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate that. Welcome in. Sisko was a captain on the front lines of the biggest, deadliest war that Starfleet and humanity has ever seen. At least at the time that series was written. And he was kind of out there on his own, doing everything on his own. I mean, yeah, he still had, you know, relatively easy access to Starfleet if he needed their advice or their opinion on something. For the most part, he was on his own out there on DS9 in the Bajoran sector. He was right next to a wormhole that led to an entire quadrant of space that was owned by the deadliest, most dangerous enemies the Federation has ever seen in the Dominion. So, you know, Sisko had to bend the rules even more so than Janeway ever had to in order to get things done that needed to be done.
Not even a challenge.
He got a Cardassian agent to plant a bomb on a Romulan starship, a Romulan shuttle, killing a Romulan diplomat and making it look like the Dominion did it, so the Romulans would join the war. Otherwise, the Romulans would have stayed far out of the war. He poisoned an entire planet of Maquis fighters because he was trying to get to the Maquis leader, Eddington. So yeah. I didn't what the hell? Sisko being labeled a badass is definitely an accurate description.
Someone clean up this mess.
And not only was he dealing with, you know, the consequences and the conflict and everything that goes along with war involving the Dominion War, like counting the names of the crew and the ships that were destroyed in the war, but also things like dealing with the fact that he is a religious icon to a species of alien that's not even his. He was the Bajoran emissary. He was the Bajoran emissary, so he had to hold up that.
Not even a challenge.
That rank, that position, even though for the longest time he didn't want it, and Starfleet was uncomfortable with him being, you know, being that way. He had to deal with that, as well as being captain of a station that is also not even a Federation station. It was a Bajoran station. He had a Bajoran crew member who saw him not just as the captain of a Bajoran space station, but also as the emissary. So he was dealing with a lot of shit, way more than I think any starship captain did throughout Star Trek. As far as like just dealing with the worst possible situations imaginable. Just because I saw him as a badass because he juggled so bloody much. Yeah, it's just what we were talking about. Cardassians versus the Bajorans, the Bajorans politics versus the Prophets, terrorists, the Cardassians, talking about the Maquis, eventually the Dominion War, yeah. Punch Q in the face, yeah. Punch Q in the face. You hit me. Picard never hit me. I'm not Picard. That's probably one of my favorite lines from him. Just the way Q's sitting there on the ground, just like, Picard never hit me. I'm not Picard. I may be bald like him, but I'm not Picard. I'm much darker, buddy. He had no problem telling people off in most cases. And one of the biggest things I thought was really cool, how they really like added to some more of Sisko's character, was when they actually said that open that damn thing. When they said that Worf actually is intimidated by Sisko. I mean, think of all the captain. Think of the fact that Worf worked with Picard. And everything that Picard did for him, during the whole stuff regarding the Klingon Civil War and the ascension of the Duras, the House of Duras and crap like that. Look at all the things that Picard did for Worf regarding that stuff. And he joins Sisko on DS9, and Worf admits, at least to Dax, that he is intimidated by Benjamin Sisko. A Klingon warrior like Worf, intimidated by Benjamin Sisko. Does that not say something?
Your sister sent me. You're free.
Rennie? Oh, but she's a little girl.
You don't remind me that she's a little girl.
Why?
Please.
Now they're gonna kill me. Quick, can you put that back? Get it working again or something?
A little gratitude wouldn't kill you.
I can't escape. As long as the Justicars have me in their records as a curfew breaker, they'll just hunt me down again. And if they get me for going AWOL, they'll use torture.
Curfew breaker?
Unless... Look, if you really want to help, go into their computers and delete my file. I'll hide somewhere. When things die down, I'll find Rennie again.
Sisko used a chemical weapon on a planet and Worf for once said about carrying out the order to fire. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have been it wasn't the first time that Worf was hesitant to follow a firing order, but you're absolutely right on the fact that he definitely was intimidated by Sisko's order. I mean, Sisko in his right moments was goddamn scary.
Tell Rennie I'll be there as soon as I can.
Well, that's all I had to do. But I had to talk to him again. Okay. Alright. I'm doing a lot of shit tonight. Okay, these are all done. Speak to so-and-so, deliver the memory core, return to Reed Gandon. So we need to defeat these 5 folks. Obtain a clinic passkey. Held in custody. Justicar Detention Center. That's where I need to go next, so I guess I'm gonna go there. Ronaldo, that's Reed Gandon. Yeah.
Someone clean up this mess.
I can say this for DS9. I think DS9 is the only one that actually ever had truly good villains that maintained their villain status throughout the series. TOS never really had a definitive villain at any point in the series. TNG never really had a definitive villain beyond maybe the Borg, and that was only for just a few episodes the Borg were that predominant. like during the end of season, I think it was the end of season 3, when Best of Both Worlds, Picard became Locutus. That's really the only time the Borg were ever like really a threat in TNG, and so they were kind of the villain for that point. But then that was it. And then Voyager couldn't have a consistent villain because they were supposed to be traveling 70,000 light years. So while they had the Kazon and primarily Maj Kula for quite a bit of that, that couldn't keep going because at a certain point they've got to get beyond Kazon space if we're going to show any progress about Voyager getting closer to the Alpha Quadrant. DS9 had the Dominion, the Jem'Hadar, the Changeling leader, the female Changeling, the leader of the Dominion, and then of course you had Dukat. That was the only time we actually had a villain that remained consistent throughout the entire season, the entire series.
Not even a challenge.
And they wrote him extremely well. Extremely well. I mean, there were times when you realized, okay, he's definitely going to be at least like an anti-hero or at least an antagonist, if nothing else. Maybe not a villain, but at least an antagonist, right? When they were writing Dukat's character. He was like, okay, he's going to be at least an antagonist, maybe not a villain. And then he kind of gets a little bit worse here and there. Antagonizes a couple other characters, especially with with Kira and all that. And then he starts getting some redemption. He starts doing some good things. You know, he starts working with Cisco against the Dominion, and trying to help them stop the Maquis, and help Cisco to prevent the Maquis from destroying the Cardassians in a Starfleet type fashion instead of just flying out there and blowing them up. So kind of a redemption arc a little bit for Dukat. And then in that one episode where Dukat and Cisco are on that one planet, and Dukat just absolutely loses his shit and says that if he had the ability to, he would have killed every single Bajoran in existence. You know, that's when he went from somewhat of an antagonist to somewhat of a recovered character or a redeemed character to villain, absolute villain. Especially when he took over Empok Nor, the other Cardassian space station, and formed that pseudo-religion for the Pa race. TOS was the Klingon, TNG was partially Borg and Q, Voyager was the Borg and whatever enemies that chased them. This goes going to be pretty much on all sides, even his own. Yeah. I mean, again, even TOS, all the other series with their villains, they were still few and far between. They didn't really pose that huge of a threat for that long. I mean, the Klingons appeared, maybe, I think like 4 times. I mean, not like total, but they were only really like a huge problem like 4 times in the entire TOS run. That's how we learned about Kang and Koloth and the other Klingon. I'm blanking on his name now. And then there was the Romulans for a little bit. A couple episodes with the Romulans. And that was pretty much it. For TNG, yeah, you kind of had, again, Q wasn't really a villain. I would count Q as more of an antagonist than a villain. The Borg, yeah, they were villains, but once they got Locutus back, and once they got Locutus back and turned him back into Picard, and then the two-parter involving the Borg aligned with Lore, once that was over with, you never really saw the Borg much again in TNG. Voyager, again, couldn't really have a consistent villain because of the fact they were supposed to be, traveling a very long distance, so they couldn't keep a villain, at least that would be native to the Delta Quadrant, because they would never be showing any signs of progress. You had the Kazon for a while. You had the Vidians for a little while. You come across Borg space. You had the Borg for a little while. Once you got beyond Borg space, you know, it just, you know, they couldn't really keep a consistent villain with Voyager. You kind of had a consistent villain for a little while with some of the Maquis crew that wanted to betray Voyager, specifically specifically Seska. And what was Raphael Samar's character's name?
Not even a challenge.
What was the dude? Michael Jonas. Jonas, yeah. You had Jonas and you had Seska, but even then, once they were caught and revealed, they were no longer villains anymore.
This is too easy.
Seska got killed. It was before the last time we see the Kazon.
And stay down. Not even a challenge.
So yeah, Cisco had the widest array of villains and was the only one to have a villain that was consistent through every step of the way throughout DS9's run. Ducat's breaking point was when his daughter was killed in front of him. Yeah, when he lost DS9 again, when he lost DS9 a second time, because he lost it once when the Bajorans took it over after the end of the Bajoran Cardassian conflict, or the occupation, the Cardassian occupation of Bajor. Ducat lost the station then, so he only lost it once, and then with the Dominion's help, took it over again. All right, I got the station back, and then the Federation eventually took it back over. He lost it again, so he's already losing some of his, you know, he's going to lose his position. He already lost his power over controlling DS9, eventually all those Bajorans that he wanted to kill. And then he lost his daughter on top of that, killed right in front of him. So yeah, all three of those were a huge breaking point for Ducat. That's when he started like really losing his shit. And then when he revealed how he wanted to kill every single Bajoran, that was when he really went into villain mode. And that makes him an absolutely incredible character.
Recording Raquel Lysanis, Adjudication Session 1. Captain Dragon presiding. Master Lysanis, you're accused of criminal activity under Supreme Law 8814, aiding and abetting an enemy of the Protectorate. How do you plead?
How do you think I plead? Not guilty. I don't even know what you're talking about. This is a violation of my rights. Look, my father gives you people a lot of credits. He's not going to be very happy about this.
That is entirely irrelevant. Your plea is now on record. This session is concluded.
You have no intention of even giving me a fair trial, do you? This is oppression, and I promise you, my father...
Recording Raquel Lysanis, Adjudication Session 2. Captain Dragon presiding. Master Lysanis, as you know, your alleged girlfriend, Mistress Daria Felton, failed to corroborate your alibi. Mistress Felton's testimony reports of 6 eyewitnesses, and the blasters found in your residence are sufficient proof of your membership in the Black Sun Crime Syndicate. Do you have any closing statements?
You know what? I do. You idiots got me this time. But you should know, I've been running operations under your nose for years. I've been working for the Black Sun since I was a kid. You people are pathetic.
Very well, your closing statements have been recorded. This session is concluded.
You're going to lose this war in the end. The Black Sun will rise.
Oh, I get to make a decision on good guy or bad guy. Well, I gotta be a bad guy. Edit data to make Justicars look guilty. I'm good at Photoshop. I was looking at those guys over there getting ready to attack them. I didn't even piss off this one. Rule number 1, spit all your plans past the future at the first opportunity.
This is too easy.
Yeah. They called him Master, whatever the hell his name was. But is that just some kind of like arbitrary rank, or was he like a Jedi master?
Clean up this
I guess it doesn't
mess.
really matter. He's dead now.
Stay
Okay.
down.
I did, of course, love the goofy relationship between Dukat and Kira, especially when she was pregnant. He thought a senator was the father. She tells him straight he's not the father. He's confused and says, then who is? And she says, as if he should know O'Brien. The look is shockingly hilarious. That's right. I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. The Shakar, yeah, Shakar was his name. Shakar was the,
Not even a challenge. Someone clean up this mess.
was the head of the Bajoran people after, being rescued and all that stuff, and fell in love with Kira. Kira fell in love with him, whatever, and she got pregnant because off screen she got pregnant by Alexander Sadig, which was Bashir. They were a thing during DS9
This is too
filming.
easy.
So in order to make it,
Someone
in
clean
order
up
to give
this
her more
mess.
reason why she's pregnant, they created an episode where Kiriyoshi, the latest O'Brien, is transplanted from
Not even a challenge. And stay
Keiko
down.
O'Brien to Kira. So who is the father? O'Brien? I forgot about that. Oh my god. So funny. Okay. Return those three. Republic's Most Wanted is there. Base Merchants is there. Okay, so we can just fast travel here. In the whole bit where he has Damar retrieve his daughter, Damar comes back beaten, mentioning Kira did it, and Dukat immediately suspects Damar. There's something wrong. They're always in close region of their gods. I don't remember that one so well. Although, I will say, for characters that I liked, as far as like the bad guy characters and stuff and so forth, I really liked Damar. I think Damar was. I'm glad he eventually got like a main role in DS9 after Dukat left the Cardassians. I really, really, really like Damar. To me, even though he was the bad guy, he became more likable as the series went on, I feel. Especially when the female Dominion,
You there.
the female shapeshifter
Soldier.
Dominion leader,
Could I?
the
could you spare
founder,
a minute?
decided
No,
to
don't look
fuck
at me.
over the
Just look
Cardassians by
casual.
giving the
Act like you're not
the
talking to anyone.
Breen, like,
My name's Jafke. I'm
top
with
control.
Republic Security. Is the street clear? Any Justicar patrols?
when the female founder decided to give so much power to the Breen, and then pretty much told the Cardassians, "You're now a third wheel." She would attack you for no reason.
You've totally lost it.
What? No, that's not it at all. I'm just trying to warn you is all. I already tangled with the Justicars. Trust me, you don't want to underestimate these guys.
If you survived, the Justicars can't be that tough.
Wow.
I'm only alive because I ran. Hard. Republic Security was actually excited about the Justicars at first. Bunch of ex-military guys forming a militia to take back the streets.
You can never rely on militias, Agent. Even ex-military.
Republic Security hoped the Justicars would work alongside our officers, bring order to Coruscant's lower levels. But they pushed out Republic forces just like they did the criminals. They keep the peace down here, but they definitely aren't on the Republic side.
As long as they stay out of my way, I couldn't care less.
The Justicars generally kill or imprison trespassers caught in their territory. We've tried to run surveillance on their activities, but their signal jammers block every attempt. I thought disrupting the jammers would be easy, but the Justicar patrols are everywhere.
Objectives don't complete themselves, Agent.
You definitely look like you could handle the job. Better than I could, anyway. I built the devices to disrupt the Justicar's jammers. They just need to be installed. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, okay.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you so much. Here, take the devices. They need to be planted at several points around the district. That's the tricky part. Justicar patrols are everywhere. Once you've planted the devices, make your way back. Good luck, and thanks.
Terrible eyes, excellent hearing. Talking about great actors in Star Trek. Jeffrey Combs, man. Jeffrey Combs. Absolutely phenomenal actor in Star Trek. He played so many roles and did them so well. And except for his voice, you probably wouldn't even know it was him. I mean, Jeffrey Combs is a very distinct voice. That's why I was able to spot him so easily. When I found out he was playing Brainiac in Injustice 2, I'm like, that's fucking Wayoon talking right there. So, Jeffrey Combs playing so many different characters, it does a fantastic job with all of them. Jeffrey Combs is just magnificent.
Your brother is free. He says he will find you as soon as it's safe.
Really? The Justicars were saying he'd been killed. But he's alive? Really? Thank you, thank you. You're my second best friend in the whole world.
Could we not have an ass shot of the child? Could we not do an ass shot of the child? This is not Final Fantasy X, and she is not Riku. Don't do that again.
Thanks to your troubles, Conthor Industries will reopen just as soon as those Justicars cool off. Thanks to your troubles, Conthor Industries
You
will
have
reopen
recently completed this
just as
mission.
soon as
Return
those
later.
Justicars
Repeat
cool
mission.
off.
I didn't realize it did that. Okay. The female Vorta that had psychic blast ability, she was originally to be the recurring one, but due to pregnancy she had to bow out and Jeffrey took over. Vorta that had psychic blast ability. Vorta with psychic blast. Was she like one of the first Vorta that you see? Because I vaguely remember her. Like, very vaguely. Wasn't there an episode where, like, Cisco, Vorta, and Quark were all, like, imprisoned by a Jem'Hadar? And the whole point of them being imprisoned was so the Vorta female could, like, investigate them or like, learn from them? Is that the right episode I'm thinking of? Okay, I am thinking of the right episode. Cisco and Quark interdimensional space. Okay, alright. I remember now. I still don't remember her specifically, but I do kind of remember that whole scene. Or that whole situation. Good to know my memory isn't completely gone. Dementia hasn't taken me over yet. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop.
I've been hearing some serious comm chatter, pal. Sounds like you made a mess in the Justicar Tower. Did you find any recordings of Raquel? Don't keep me in suspense.
The ability was scrapped because they thought it made the Vorta too powerful. I mean, it kind of does. I mean, I kind of like the fact that the Vorta are like military generals, sort of, or like captains, but they really have like almost no battle experience whatsoever. They are extremely loyal to the founders, and they are obeyed relentlessly by the Jem'Hadar, but they themselves really can't do much. And I actually kind of like that. if they did have the ability to fight themselves, like to the same degree as a psychic ability, or even close to a Jem'Hadar, that it would. There's a dynamic there that I feel is missing, or that would be missing. You've got the superly powerful, strong, mysterious mystique of the Founders, the Shapeshifters. You've got the incredible military might of the Jem'Hadar and their ships and their weapons and their fighting capabilities, and you need a middle ground between that, and you've got the Vorta, which are kind of meek, rather intimidated kind of appearance. They're very easily submissive, at least in appearance, and deceptive, but still have a dominating control over a powerful force like the Jem'Hadar, and are only subservient to the highest level, which is their gods or the Founders. Otherwise explained away as an extremely rare anomaly among the Vorta. That's good writing. That's good writing. Something that you don't really see much anymore in Star Trek, or in general, for that matter.
I want to see some credits first.
Hey, buddy, come on, it's me. Don't worry. Your credits are right here. Let's have a look.
Hey, it's me, dude. I don't know you that well. All I know is your name
This
is
is
Poss.
perfect. This is going to change the world, baby. The whole galaxy. Once everyone sees the truth about the Justicars, the Republic will squash them like bugs, and freedom will reign. All thanks to you.
I know, I'm a hero.
This was just one more victory for freedom over tyranny.
Ah, that's a great opening line. You're a natural, baby. I'll see you around.
Sure.
Shipping records from the Justicar docks. This should be everything you need.
Couldn't have done it better myself. These records prove the Justicars are getting supplies from off-world. I'll transmit these to headquarters, let them chew on it a while.
1 in a billion?
You've got my thanks.
If they wanted to, they probably could have also said that. They also probably could have said that's an ability that couldn't be cloned. You know how Wei Yun's character is cloned multiple times, killed multiple times, and also cloned multiple times. They probably also could have. They could have said. I mean, they did. I don't think they did. But if they wanted to add just a little more legitimacy to that, they could say that they could not clone that ability. Even if they cloned that particular woman who had that mental ability, whatever reason, biological reason, that ability didn't transfer to the clones. Just a thought. I mean, I know I'm post writing for a series that's now 20, 30 years old. The DS9 was in the late 90s, right? So we're talking like 30 years. But, you know, I think that's a nice little twist to the story.
Not even a challenge. This is too easy.
And where is this? Do I need to go this way? Well, looks like there's a road there. So where does that lead?
Up this mess. And stay down.
Another explanation that works. Founders are rooted for the Vorta, but there's still outliers and why founders are xenophobia towards solids. Yeah. It's really too bad that the lady that plays the female founder didn't do more roles than just the female founder and the one precursor species from that one episode of Star Trek, TNG, where the Romulans and the Cardassians and everybody all gathered together at once. Find out that basically everybody is a seed species from the precursors, or the progenitors, or whatever they were called. I need to go this. There may be a path this way. No, not the Iconians. No, not the Iconians. There was a species that they found some kind of device on a planet, and the device was basically a message they had to translate that also had coordinates to a planet. And I think it was the Klingons, the Romulans, and the Cardassians also had this information. And it all became like a race to get to this planet because they thought it was going to be some kind of like powerful weapon or give one side or another some kind of major advantage. And they all went to this planet at roughly the same time, got to the particular like coordinates on this planet at the same time, just to find it was a hologram of a progenitor or a precursor species that said we seeded a number of planets. In short, saying we seeded a whole bunch of planets, and all of you here are the product of our
You're back.
Our ancestors, essentially.
Did you get all the devices in place?
The actress that played that role of that holographic character was the same lady that did the female founder.
The mission that was too hard for you, it's all taken care of.
I'm just glad it's done. What a relief. All right, let's see if these things work. They're booting up now. Synchronizing,
Why are you looking at me instead of your pad?
It's working! The frequencies are all clearing, one by one. This is fantastic.
All that's left is my pay.
Oh, right. Sorry. Here. I could never reward you enough for what you've done. I'll notify headquarters that the jammers are down. Thanks again for your help. This mission would have been a complete failure without you.
Iconians were the precursors, believed they were the beings who made the changelings, also were responsible for the negative energies Picard dealt with. I didn't know about that. I didn't know they created the changelings. But I don't think the woman in that one episode that I'm talking about, I don't think she was Iconian. Because I don't think the Iconians were even referenced at all during that particular episode. Maybe I'm just completely misremembering. Okay, I need to do this. So let's go down here and do the planetary checkup and core dump. The Iconians, there's not a whole lot of species that really creep me out when it comes to Star Trek. The Iconians did. The Iconians were just, I don't know. I think because their technology was just so incredibly powerful and so incredibly, high tech, and yet they were, that technology was extremely dangerous, still functioning, yet there wasn't a single Iconian around. I don't know, for some reason that just bothered me. It disturbed me on so many levels. Yeah, I know who the Iconians were. I just don't think they were I don't think those were the progenitors or whatever they were called during that particular episode. I don't think that was an Iconian. But yeah, the idea behind the Iconians, I don't know. It was very disturbing, really disturbing. So, needless to say, when I encountered them in Star Trek Online, I was very uncomfortable. Iconians is the key that just forgot. No, I don't agree with that one. I can see how you might think that, but I wouldn't agree with that. I don't think the Iconians would have ascended to godhood like that. Although I would like to see, like, what was the cause, the reason for them to just, you know, all the Iconians just up and disappeared, but their technology remained untouched, especially after hundreds of thousands of years, or whatever it was. Didn't feel the need to tell mortals who they are. That was a fascinating cutscene. Alright, now we need to go that way. Can you go tell a different story? I think it's exaggerated. They killed their masters. Well, in a different kind of way, the changelings also creep out.
Stay down.
An entire species of shapeshifters that can become... Shapeshifting in general doesn't bother me. Because, you know, there's a number of alien species in almost every sci-fi that is a shapeshifter. But those that can shapeshift into an entirely liquid form and then like merge with other liquid forms of their species, I don't know, that almost disturbs me more than the Iconians in general. Not to mention their xenophobia, which caused them to create an entire species of genetically engineered Porta and their genetic engineering of Bar. You know, they're so mysterious. Usually a species that is powerful and, you know, mighty, they're on the front lines with their soldiers fighting. Look at the Klingons. Look at the Romulans. Look at the Borg in a somewhat of a similar sense. But look at the Dominion. The leaders, the generals of the wars, are hiding in a pool on a planet. I just find that really, really uncomfortable. Again, not as much as the existence of the Iconians. Those are just completely different. Iconians are a whole other level of...
Stay down.
So. It was shiny. I had to look at it. I had to touch it.
Challenge. This is too easy.
Then is that all of them? What's this one? Oh nope, I gotta do another pipe. So I need to go it's going to be a bit of a walk back.
Someone clean up this mess.
You're talking about the changelings and their masters? Yeah, I was talking about how they disturbed me. Not to the same level as the Iconians. I was comparing them to like other species, like the Klingons, the Romulans. They're all fighting on the front line with their soldiers. Changelings don't do that.
Stay down.
That's why I was surprised and irked when they came back for Picard. I'm like, oh no, no, please, no, not that.
Someone clean up this mess. And stay down.
Oh, I got you. I don't know if you're listening to me on like a headset or something. I just assume that you got me on like speakers or something, and everybody can hear me. Kira. Apparently he's got a Jedi companion.
Someone clean up this mess. This is too easy.
All right, it's your preference. If I could get a Bluetooth headset working on this computer without having to deal with audio delay, I would be using that.
Not even a challenge.
If I remember to, I don't wake up too late. I want to head over to a computer store near where I live, and talk to somebody who's smarter than me about possibly seeing if there's some kind of like dongle or something that I can plug into my computer that will allow me to have a synchronized audio to a Bluetooth headset, because I really would like to be able to put the audio in my ears, but I don't want to wear a giant headset. I don't want it to be wired if I can keep from it. Hello, Brenda. How you doing? What you up to tonight? Can't wait to read. It's the evil thing to do. Of course it is. I'm evil. Sorry, my evil showing again. I'm almost to the dump site. Wait, what else we got here? Defeat Imperial forces. Oh. Okay, kill some Imperials. Bluetooth and wireless I avoid. I can't stand having to recharge device or battery, especially when I need to do stuff. I don't have a problem if I use the. Oh, it's done. If I use the same Bluetooth that I'm using for my work, then I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Because I've tested my current headset, and I worked 10 hours one day and had it on, had my headset on the entire time, and it never ran out of battery. I remember not actually low or anything, but never had any battery issues with that particular headset. So I don't have a problem with that whatsoever.
Not Not even a challenge.
It's one of those like around the neck headsets, not like earbuds. I've had those earbud kind of things as well, and those things don't last an hour and a half. But my behind the neck headset lasts for at least 10 hours, so I actually don't know how long it can last.
Too easy.
And if my streams don't last longer than 10 hours, I should be in good shape.
Someone clean up this mess.
Because I wouldn't see why the battery drain going through a PC would be worse than the drain going through a phone. Between wired and wireless. I just don't like, after spending so long, as you can see I'm not wearing any headphones or anything right now. All the audio for the game or whatever I'm playing comes through my television set, which is over here to my left. So I hear everything through there, but it's not always easy to hear everything, especially if I'm like teamed up with somebody. And like say I was playing with Bino last night in Monster Hunter World, I could sort of hear pretty well, but I'd be able to hear her better if she was just like directly in my head. So that's why, at least for moments like that, I'd like to use a Bluetooth headset. But going so long without having anything on my head that's wired, and I have to keep kind of moving around and all that other shit. I've gotten used to not having anything tethered to my head. So if the worst thing I have is just a Bluetooth headset, I want that. That's what I want. I've gotten used to not being tethered to anything. So I want to be untethered again, but still have the audio going directly into my head.
Not even a challenge. Then stay down.
You can hear more clearly the speakers, just plus some songs sound wild and different on speakers. Yeah, because you got ambient noise. Even in the most quiet room, you're going to have ambient noise. You're going to have ambient sounds that are going to interfere with any audio that you're listening to if it doesn't go directly into your head. You're going to have echo off of a wall, echo or obstruction off of anything that's sitting on a desk or whatever between the speaker and your ears. If it's on a headset, it's going straight into your ears, and the only thing that's going to be in the way is the air between the speaker itself and your eardrums. That's why that's why headsets are always going to sound different / better than speakers. I say always, 99% of the time, I'm sure. I didn't even realize I hit level 24.
Welcome back, my illustrious colleague. Tell me you've taken the seismic readings.
That was pointless.
How can you say that? We're going to make history with these results. Quickly, please, let me examine the Burma seismic activity reader. Incredible. My genius is truly incredible. My theory is accurate. The planet is in danger. This reading proves it.
You were right. I suppose you'll be getting your grant.
Yes. Yes, I suppose I will. Far more research will have to be done to convince the Senate, but this will get the ball rolling. Worry not. You've done a great deed today.
You didn't even get to finish your line. What I do like headphones, earbuds I don't understand because it's super easy to get wax on them, and if I wear them too long, after a while, most headphones do hurt quickly. Or don't hurt quickly. I used to have, usually when I use headsets, like full like headphones, I prefer Turtle Beaches because they've always been the most comfortable and never really caused me any issues with audio quality or any kind of discomfort in my head. But Bluetooth earbuds are just as far as like that neck thing that I've gotten used to wearing them because I wear them at work all the time. So it's just a comfort thing. I never had an issue with them falling out. At least the kind that I have, that they're just it's like a horseshoe kind of thing, and the earbuds themselves are magnetized onto the ends of the horseshoe neck thing, and then I would just take them off the headset, or take off the magnets, and just plug them into my ears, and they stay there. Never had an issue with them falling out. And the quality's been good. The batteries lasted for at least 10 hours during my work days. The only complaint I have is just when I'm listening to PC audio, there's just a slight delay, a slight desync. Like you say, if you're like on a video game menu and you're going down the menu and the game makes a sound whenever you move the cursor down, beep 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 beep. Well, with a Bluetooth headset, there's just a slight delay there. There's the slight delay between the movement of the cursor and the sound of the beep, and that gets me. It gets on my nerves.
Not even a challenge. Someone clean up this mess. This is too easy.
Yeah, the desync really bothers me. I mean, it's not really a long delay. It's not like cursor moves 1001, 1002, 1003 beep. It's not that bad. It's like maybe a quarter second, maybe half a second, but it's enough that I notice it. If I used it long enough, I probably could ignore the delay. I probably could, because again, it's not that terrible. But I'd really rather not delay at all.
Welcome. Please select an
or at least be almost unnoticeable.
Have a safe and pleasant stay.
If audio is even a tiny bit off, no matter if it's game, TV show, movie, even simple system sounds, bugs crap out of me because I pay attention too much. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I'm testing it, I notice it, I'm paying attention to it, and it bugs me. I would, it's possible that maybe if I put it on and use it and just play the game, I might be able to phase out that difference. If I don't pay enough attention to it, I might be able to zone it out and not really notice it. But I don't know for sure. I'd rather just not have it at all.
On behalf of Senator Dolly Burbark, I praise you for your service and ask a moment of your time. The senator sent me as his representative, though he'd prefer to be here himself. He loves to walk among his people.
I don't need to hear this.
Today, the senator sent me to find brave and loyal citizens to help with a security crisis. It involves his work to restore the Republic to glory by re-establishing our technological superiority.
That's all very nice, but what's the crisis?
I was just getting to that. Recently, the senator arranged to acquire a shipment of computer chips, advanced hardware that could create whole new industries for the Republic. Unfortunately, the shipment was hijacked by the Migrant Merchants Guild. Now, Republic Security is afraid to take on the Guild's thugs.
The officers at Republic Security sound pretty pathetic.
Someone around here needs to take a stand against the Migrant Merchants Guild. The senator wants me to find that someone. Recovering the shipment of chips from the Guild would be a great service to Senator Bark and the Republic.
I can do this in my sleep. maybe I will.
I can see you're a man of action. Perfect for this job. I'm glad I found you. To find out where the guild has hidden the senator's shipment, you'll have to speak with security captain Denel Zahn. He ran the investigation.
Wanted to do it.
Then return the shipment to Senator Bark's office in the Senate Tower. I'm sure he'll want to thank you personally.
3 seconds would be way too much. 3 seconds would be absolutely intolerable. Three-second audio delay kind of reminds me of back when I first started doing YouTube. I would have to like sync up my I would have to manually sync up my commentary audio with the game I was playing, and that whenever there would be a delay, I would have to like, because I didn't have the perfect hardware setup, so sometimes, you know, I would like do a synchronization cue, and it would sync up for like the first 30 minutes of the video that I was doing, but as it got further along the video, the audio would be just distinct enough that it would be very obviously out of sync by like 45, 50 minutes, an hour in. And that really, talking about the 3 seconds being off really reminds me of that. Boy, was that air. Man, that bothered me so much because it was so inconsistent. Our recording setup was so bad back then.
I'm desperate, Mal.
I wish I could help, Nick. I really do, but I can't spare the manpower.
Is this what the Republic has been reduced to? Indifference to the suffering of aliens?
Does whining about it make you feel better?
You call protesting the neglect of peaceful Republic citizens whining? For us, there is no justice. We are ruled over by gangsters who call themselves the Migrant Merchants Guild. While Republic security...
Nick, none of you should be living here. We can't guarantee your safety. You know that.
Our homes were buried under rubble during the war. Not our fault the businessmen here are all crooks.
Is everyone living here so sensitive, or is it just you?
I'm sorry if my pain causes you discomfort, but the situation is intolerable. The Republic considers us squatters and wants us out. The Migrant Merchants Guild claims to protect us, but all they do is exploit us. Now, the Guild has kidnapped my mate Rhea and put her to work as an entertainer. Rhea! Forced to dance for the pleasure of scoundrels.
You lost your mate? Big deal. Get another one.
This is not some droid I speak of. This is my beautiful partner. There's no telling what humiliations and depravities Rhea's been forced to endure. My beloved is worth a great deal to me. Bring her back and I'll reward you handsomely.
What you want to bet I go find Rhea and she went there voluntarily because she didn't want to be with this asshole.
All right, I'll do it. He always was a sucker for people in love.
Thank the ancestors. I cannot express what this means to me. Rhea is being held with the other dancers in the guild headquarters. She's a beautiful novelist with lovely green headdresses. I'm sure you'll know her.
Now, back then, it was just it was like I was using a similar set. It was like overall setup. I had like the game screen. I was recording face cam, and I was recording my audio, my commentary on three like separate, not really channels, but I was using a separate audio recorder to record my microphone audio, so my commentary. The game stayed synchronized. The camera stayed synchronized. The camera recording of my face stayed synchronized the entire video, but my audio recording software, apparently after a certain amount of time, was just like maybe a few milliseconds slow, and as that a few milliseconds slower than my game and camera video, right? So even though I synced it up at the beginning, that slight bit of delay would eventually stack and stack and stack and stack. So at 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that gap became very obvious, and I would suddenly be doing like a Japanese dub. My lips would be moving, but no sound would be coming out till like two seconds later. The sort of underlying reason why it bothers me so much: when I was younger, I overdid it with weed. During my recoup weeks, my hearing and sight was off. I saw lips move, but hear a voice later screwed me deeply, so whenever it happens, I'm minor that delirium. Ugh. Eesh. That sounds terrible. I just don't like it because if I'm especially since I don't have great hearing, I do rely a lot on reading lips. And in games that have really good lip syncing, kind of like this one, if the lip syncing and the voice acting is off by enough, it will bother me. It will bother me. That's why it's really bad if ever I'm like listening, or like you talked about, watching movies or TV or something, and there's audio desync between the characters in the TV show talking, and the audio I'm hearing. It would drives me nuts.
In accordance with Security Force Regulation 1195, conversations with non-security personnel are to be kept to a minimum. Let's make this quick. I'm Captain Denel Zahn. Senator Barks Page ordered me to give you information regarding the Senator's stolen goods.
Get it over with, then.
We'll see. Under Security Appropriations Policy B-71, I'm allowed to share classified information, if you're working for us. Did the Senator's crony tell you where the shipment came from, or what these computer chips are for?
I'd do it all for the credits.
All right, I get it. You should still know the truth, though. The chips are from planet Ryloth. They're designed to operate remote control slave collars. Under Republic Law 4412, Rylothian slave collars and the chips used to make them are illegal in Republic space, even for senators.
What do you want me to do about it?
Put on one of those slave collars and let me shock you a few times. You'll care. Our immediate problem is that these slave collar chips are spread around the Migrant Merchants Guild headquarters. First priority is get the shipment together again. After that, bring the chips back to me and I'll make sure they're destroyed.
What's in it for me?
I can offer you the standard rate. The Senator's probably offering more, but it'll be dirty money. Find the chips and get out of the Guild warehouse. Once you've got everything, I suggest you let us deal with the shipment, not the Senator.
Sure. Just go subtitles. Well, I do use subtitles, but still, when I'm able to see the lip syncing with the words, it needs to be synced up. And it reminds me of the delirium gives me anxiety because then I'll start remembering the spins, which terrified me. I can't speak for that. I've never done drugs in my life. You can probably tell. I mean, hell, I didn't start drinking alcohol until I was 34. Even then, I don't do it that often. So I need to go this way for whatever I'm doing over here. Public's Most Wanted. I'm still trying to find that mission? Wow. Alright. Got some walking to do. Let's walk. Just the stolen chips. Okay, yeah, it is. Alright. Terrified of heights, for example, I'd rather hang off the edge of skyscrapers and deal with the spins. Wow.
Up this mess.
That's why I don't really. That's part of the reason why I don't ever want to do any kind of drugs of any kind, because I don't like. You know, we were talking earlier about me being out of control. I don't like being that kind of out of control. I don't like my body doing weird things. And the most I'll tolerate is the weariness, if you will, of alcohol. That I'm okay with because. Even though I'm still basically a noob drinker, a noob alcohol drinker, I don't think I ever actually drink a whole hell of a lot. I do drink enough to get drunk and feel woozy and feel good and all that stuff, but it's never enough that it's actually like, I've never had blurred vision. I've never had like a whole lot of huge issues with walking or falling everywhere or being able to stand up. I sure as hell haven't tried driving because God, I'm not going to do that ever. Even if I have one sip of beer, I will not drive a car. I refuse. But
clean up this mess.
Even with alcohol, I don't get bad enough that I'm like completely out of control of my body. That I've heard people like get that way when they drink sometimes. I don't ever get that far. I couldn't. So, whatever caused those spins that you mentioned, I definitely would not want to deal with that. Not to mention the paranoia and all the other things that come with different drugs. Mostly your own fault with weed, though. With every drug, you got to eat prior to doing them and to balance chemicals. If you don't, the negative stuff is very likely to happen. The same can be said for alcohol as well. If you drink on an empty stomach, obviously it's going to hit you harder than. Well, this was a waste of time. Alcohol is going to hit you harder and more quickly than if you ate something, especially if you ate something that would absorb the liquid, like bread or something. That's why when I used to go out to drink, I would try to have maybe a small burger, even if it's just like a 99-cent McDonald's burger or something, just so I had something in my stomach that was greasy and also had some breading on it to absorb some of the alcohol, so it didn't go straight to my head. It would be like a slow build, sort of. Like a puking or eat prior. I never had that problem. I've never been sick from alcohol. There's been times when I would drink and not have eaten.
Not even a challenge.
All that happened to me is just I got drunk faster. But I never got sick. I've never been sick while drinking. I also think I've got a pretty high tolerance for alcohol because it takes quite a bit for me to actually even feel anything, much less actually get buzzed or drunk. I mean, there's been times I've had a half a case of beer, not beer, but one of those Smirnoff Ice kind of things. Had a bunch of those once, half a case. There was a 6-pack, and I was sharing them with a girl that I was with at the time. I had 3, and she had 3, and I never felt anything. She got a little bit buzzed because she was a small girl. Me, never felt anything. All it did was make me go pee a lot, and I do mean a lot. Do you ever get drunk? Yeah, I've heard that as well. Also, based on your body mass.
Someone clean up this mess.
I've got a lot of muscle, so it's very difficult for me to really get drunk. If I'm going to actually get drunk, I need a lot. There was a time when I drank I think I had 5 or 6 shots in a relatively short amount of time, and even then I just got a buzz. I'd have a lot more. I think it was something like a whiskey of some kind. I needed a lot more to actually feel anything, actually get drunk. That's why whenever I do drink alcohol, I don't drink beer or anything that's got less than probably 50 proof, maybe. I think I'd have to look at a bottle of vodka or whiskey to get an exact number on the number. But I need some pretty strong stuff in order for me to actually feel something. And if I'm going to drink alcohol, I actually want to feel something. 1 glass is all it takes. For some people, it does. Like I said, the girl that I was with at the time, we split a 6-pack of Smirnoff. No, it wasn't Smirnoff. It was Mike's Lemonade, Mike's Hard Lemonade, and she got a little bit buzzed. I didn't feel a damn thing, except a full bladder every 5 minutes. And I do mean every 5 minutes. We were watching a movie. We were watching Aquaman. We were watching the Aquaman movie in the hotel room, and she had to pause the movie every 5 minutes. I had to go pee. So yeah, if I'm going to drink alcohol, I want to feel something. I don't just drink alcohol just to drink alcohol. I've never understood that concept, and I know that drinking alcohol to get drunk is not really the point in some cases. At least some people have said that, but I don't get it. If I'm going to drink to not feel something, then why bother drinking alcohol? Why not just have a Coke or a Pepsi or a Gatorade or something? I feel like if you're going to drink something with alcohol in it, you should be trying to alter your state of mind, even if it's just a little bit. I always thought myself drinking too much, even though no inhibition was still able to inhibit myself. Yeah, the no inhibitions thing, the only thing that did for me was it got me to ask a girl out once that I would not have asked out otherwise. And that particular instance ended up with me moving to Houston, which has been a blessing. It really has. The girl and I don't talk anymore, but the fact I moved to Houston has been a huge plus for me. I've got a job that I'm happy with. I can be happy with where I live, but that's just a choice. I can change that now. Once I get you know, with these small circumstances under my control, that I can just move to a different part. That's all I need to do there. But
clean up this mess.
I'm far happier. I mean, I'm like leaps and bounds a happier, better person since I moved back to Texas than I was in Nebraska. Like, massively. So, I'm grateful to myself for getting drunk enough to ask that girl out. But that would be the only way I would probably do it. I mean, it's called liquid courage for a reason, and apparently it works for me. I would never have asked this particular girl out, and I again probably wouldn't again either. I probably wouldn't ask any girl out again unless I was drunk. Because being the antisocial person that I am with such low self-esteem and low self-confidence, it's pretty much drinking is the only way I'm gonna
Not even a challenge.
make that kind of move on a girl. Otherwise, she's gonna have to come to me. That's just all there is to it. I didn't care to be the quiet guy when drunk, but still had control. Also, a reason I don't believe the excuse I was drunk excuse for doing stuff they know they shouldn't do. Yeah. See, that's all a matter of perspective. I've never been so drunk that I don't know, and I'm not in control of myself, or anything to that level. I've never been able to get that drunk. Have I remembered everything that I said that day or everything that I did that day? No. There's been times where I've woken up the next morning and somebody told me that I said something or something like that. Maybe usually it's been on stream whenever it's happened. But it's like, do you remember saying this on stream or something like that? And I'll be like, no, I don't remember saying that. It was never anything bad. It was something usually pretty funny. I just don't remember ever saying it. Other than that, I've never. That's the worst thing that's happened as far as that kind of thing. And I don't think that's not necessarily a symptom of being out of control or probably being out of control. I just think that it's just memory loss. You just don't remember it. But sometimes when you are drunk, you just don't have, you don't remember things. But I can guarantee you, in the moment that I said whatever it was that I said at that time, that I knew what I was doing when I said it. It wasn't like the alcohol caused me to say something that I wouldn't say under normal circumstances, sober or anything like that. Yeah, I've never been drunk enough to have blurred vision or anything like that. I've never had that problem. I would find that the worst thing that would happen to me is maybe like a little bit of disorientation. Like, say I was drinking while I was sitting here, while I'm sitting here, and then I would maybe get up to go to the bathroom. I would notice that when I stand up, I was a little bit, my equilibrium was a little bit off, but I would be conscious of that, and I'd be fine. I would walk normally. You wouldn't really tell that I was drunk. I wouldn't be stumbling around. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be drunk stumbling. But I would feel the shift because I was drunk. But know that, okay, it's sort of like, hello, remember, drunk. The feet may not be 100%, and, be careful when I go to the bathroom or whatever I'm doing when I got up. but it's never been like, so drunk that no matter how hard I try, I would stumble over no matter what. I have never been that stupidly drunk. And I think that in order for me to get, considering what seemed to be tolerance I have to alcohol, any attempt I would have to try to get that drunk would probably be extremely unhealthy. I'd probably almost poison myself if I had to get to the level that would make me that incoherent, that inebriated.
I'm here to see a friend of mine, Ria Delarue.
Her costume on yet?
Thank you for considering Hanera's dance troupe for your entertainment needs. How may I please you this day?
Your mate doesn't deserve you. Never once had a hangover, even when I got so drunk I couldn't remember how I ended up sleeping where I passed out. Same. I've heard people complain about, headaches and loud noises, all that stuff on a hangover. Never had that. I have woken up the next morning and still been like, I can still sort of taste the alcohol in my mouth, like not like aftertaste, but it would still taste like I had maybe just had a drink recently. And I think that's just, that's probably natural. I don't know for sure. But other than that, no, I haven't really had a hangover either. I think just like it would feel more like I'm just less woozy than I was when I was drunk. That's all it really felt like. And then if I didn't drink again that day, by midday I would be pretty much normal again. Depending on how much I had the night before, or the day before. Which, after talking about all this, I kind of want to get some alcohol tomorrow. Well, since if I go out tomorrow to go to the computer store.
What does someone like you see in a loser like Nick?
Oh, please don't tell me he sent you. Should have known he'd try something like this. I'm afraid you've wasted your time. I'm not here against my will.
I called it. Somebody pick up the phone, 'cause I called it.
I don't follow. I need more details.
I'm sorry, I should have told Nick the truth. I was just hoping to spare his feelings. Life with him was miserable. Not only were we barely scraping by, but I was fed up. His jealousy was driving me crazy. He didn't want me talking to anyone or going out. Life here it's better.
Huh. What the fuck? Why did the screen just shake? Before the shake triggered my ADD that I don't think I have. The whole thing about he didn't want me talking to anyone or going out kind of goes full circle as what we were talking about earlier with obsessive boyfriends controlling their women.
Why does none of this surprise me?
Nick and I left the homeworld together. His devotion was flattering, but I grew to realize the difference between love and obsession. Could you please tell Nick I was shipped off Coruscant? If he thinks I'm gone, he might move on.
Ooh, I gotta use the evil answer.
You'll go back to Nick, one way or another.
You'd really make me, wouldn't you? You should be an enforcer for the guild. I'll go back to him. Let me get my things. I'm going.
First I tell her she's not worth Nick, and then I tell her I'm gonna make her go back. If it wasn't the evil answer, I wouldn't have picked that one, but it was the evil answer. I had to pick the evil answer. Like a law. One thing I always did, get too drunk next day and decide to wait another year or so before getting drunk again, partly to keep tolerance low, but also pretty sure addiction is impossible. I don't think I'd have an issue with that. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I don't... Once I have like an evening of drinking or a day of drinking, I might drink again the next day, depending on like what my next day plans are. If I'm going to be working the next day, if I'm working the next day, if I work on a Monday, I'm not going to drink on a Sunday. In no part of the Sunday am I going to drink. But like this weekend, if I have alcohol, I might drink Saturday night, and I might drink Sunday night since I'm going to be off on Monday. But I'm not going to drink it all on Monday, even though I'm off on Monday. And then I'll probably be good for at least a week. At least. I mean, again, I said this before. I enjoy the feeling of being drunk. It kind of gives me a unique perspective on even myself. But if for any reason, it's really loud. Okay. Felt like the game was loud. If for any reason alcohol would have disappeared off the face of the planet, I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even be bummed out. I've never, I've dealt with at least some form of depression, and I don't think that the drinking did it, drinking didn't do anything to improve or make me feel better or anything like that. I don't feel there's an association there for me. So I feel like okay, I'm depressed. I need to drink more to feel better. I don't get that sensation.
Not even a challenge. Too easy.
But yeah, it really is just for fun. Sometimes I feel I'm a little bit funnier when I drink because I say probably some things and make up random crap that I wouldn't have under normal circumstances. So I think sometimes that's funnier, but other than that, that's all I got. That's all I need it for. Long eye, burnout, and gut shot are still left. Okay. Those are going to be drinking your drunk. If it's drinking like taste, if you use this sort of alcohol doesn't taste good, agree with that. Definitely agree with that. Actually likes the taste. Might like to 20 and 1.5 for that reason alone. Because that's the other thing is, if I'm going to drink, I'm going to drink to get drunk. And if I'm going to drink alcohol, it's got to be something that I'm going to like. Because if I don't like the flavor of it, I'm not going to want to drink it, therefore I will not obviously get drunk.
Someone clean up this mess.
So, for a while I was actually okay with Southern Comfort. I mean, it wasn't great, but I could tolerate it. I could drink it. But I get at a certain point, I stopped even liking Southern Comfort. I tried IPAs before. I really despise IPAs. I don't know how anybody can drink an IPA for any reason. It definitely is not the flavor. IPA is just ugh. That's why usually I'll drink vodka with usually I've done vodka with Sprite. I haven't tried vodka with like Powerade. I'm sure that'll probably be pretty good. I haven't tried vodka straight. I haven't dared try that. I hear it's terrible. I don't want to risk, or don't even want to dare try it. I've drank alcohol straight, or drink whiskey straight, but even that is it's got to be an alcohol that I like, like a whiskey that I like. I can't drink like just straight. Not Jim Beam. What's the other one? Jack Daniel. I can't drink straight Jack Daniel whiskey. I hate that flavor. I hate it. but I can drink Jack Fire, which is cinnamon whiskey, same thing as Fireball. Jack or Crown Peach. Crown Peach is really good. I think I've had Crown Apple before, and it was good. So yeah, that's fine. I can tolerate those. But if it tastes bad, I'm not going to want to drink it, so I won't get those. What's an IPA? It's a. I think it's like an Irish beer of some sort. I'm not an alcohol expert. I just know that I've had an IPA before. It's some type of like Irish beer, I believe. Very low alcohol content, but it's different. I can't really give you an accurate. Oh, it's Indian. I thought it was Irish. I'm sorry. Again, see, it's how little I know about alcohol. I just know it was called IPA. It's some sort of beer, I thought, and it tastes pretty bad. Most beer tastes like an acid piss. Liquor burns way too much. Malt liquor tends to taste like sewage, and wine, they all taste the same. I haven't really had wine. I've never really had wine. I've had champagne once, but that was because I was already drunk and we were celebrating New Year's that year. I was at a bar for New Year's. I think it was into 2020. It might have been 2021. I don't remember what year it was that I was going into it. It was probably 2020. But I was at a bar for New Year's, and the bartender pulled out a bunch of champagne and gave everybody a glass. I thought, fuck it, why not? It was alright. It tasted fine. I was already drunk, so I didn't really care.
Stay down.
I was glad to like add to the drunkenness.
Mess.
Red wine is like drinking fizzy meat. White wine is what I call diet wine. I don't know anything about wine. I don't know if it'd be worth my time to try it. Then again, if it's not really high, if it's not high content, if it's not, if it essentially isn't effective, then it would be, that would be a waste as well. Why do you go quicker? Really? Does it have a higher alcohol content, or what's the reason for it?
Challenge.
Was it generating your experience? Moonshine? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to drink something that Farmer John made in his tub. I have heard there's like a really high alcohol content alcohol. I know, redundant. Called Firewater. And I never had a chance to try fire water. How is that better? Arrow up pointing at saying that's better. Not better. Okay, I need you to go sell some shit. Give me my junk, please.
Watch yourself.
Thank you, sweetheart. Alright. Well, this stuff is any good. Ooh, increased damage. Yes, please. Okay, cool. 94,000. How much does it cost to expand? 50,000. Let's buy it. 100,000 to buy the next upgrade. Cool. Got more inventory slots. Awesome. Moonshine in many states is illegal because they tend to be 100% easy injured making. Yeah. It's like alcohol version of meth. I have no desire for that. I really have none. I'll be fine with just going to the local liquor store and picking up a bottle. I'm fine with that. I don't need to go to Farmer John and have him tell me his life story about how his daddy's mommy's daddy's uncle, sister's daddy's uncle fucked his sister's brother's mother's monkey hole and
Someone clean up this mess.
started a tradition of hooking up moonshine in a bathtub in their outside of their trailer in bumfuck Egypt. I have no idea what mead is. No idea what mead is. Cannot fast travel out of here. Or can I? I can. Oh my gosh, I can, so I shall. Poof! It's a honey-based beverage? I wonder if you could mix... I wonder if you could mix honey with something alcoholic, like vodka. Where am I going? Need a clinic passkey. I still never did that. Return to Nick Delarue. Okay. These two are right here. I'll turn these in real quick. Mead is unique, a class of alcoholic beverage characterized by 3 ingredients: fermented honey, water, and yeast. Sounds okay. If there was like a bottled store brand of mead, it might be something I might be willing to try.
There you are. Rhea is back home. Thank the ancestors. As for any unpleasantness, Rhea's clearly confused and has been unduly influenced by the guild.
I'm on a schedule, Nick. If you could just pay what you owe me.
Yes, of course. You've given me something more precious than anything in the galaxy, and you deserve a handsome reward. I hope that this will help express my deepest gratitude. I am forever in your debt.
Forever's a long time. But I guess it's a big debt.
I hope Coruscant treats you better than it's treated us. So long.
Ooh, increased damage. Wait, what? Why did I just quit that? This is a different one. I am confused. I don't get it. Why is it Vikings drink that stuff a lot? I'm confused as to why the weapon is changing, isn't it? Why are they 69, 128 when they're unequipped? When they're equipped, it's 49 to 60, 49 to 91. Oh, you know what? I bet I know why. Is it possible it's related to my level? Is it because I'm shifted to 17 that my current weapon does less damage? Maybe that's what it is. Me can be a non-alcoholic as well. Yeah, I might pick me up some alcohol tomorrow while I'm out.
Look what the Wampa dragged in. I was beginning to wonder if I'd see you again. Did you get the shipment of slave collar chips?
I'm afraid I don't have anything for you, Captain.
Well, get the chips as soon as you can. We don't want the guild to sell them out from under us.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I want to do the evil thing. If that's the good thing, then I don't want to talk to you. Definitely love 13th Warrior bit. Well, guy offers drink. Protagonist being Muslim says, I cannot drink anything that uses fermented grape or wheat. He asks why. He asks why he's laughing. The guy responds, honey. It's made from honey. Then protagonist drinks it. Where? Okay, I'm going to go up here. You're still in the goods. Okay.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
Oh, I gotta turn in a lot of shit up there. Okay. Well, let's do the face
Have a
merchants
safe
then.
and pleasant stay.
Please don't do another nosedive. Oh god. Okay, so that's not too bad. Even just watching this game, seeing a car do a nosedive like that, just unsettles me. And I'm not like somebody who's afraid of heights or anything. I'm not acrophobic. I just don't like the idea of being in a car and it nosediving like that. Obtain a clinic passkey. Well, looks like we're in the right place for that. Ah! Ah! doing this shit over here too. The pickup. Who? What if it's above me? Would a commander would agree to play some fighter or space sim? I've played Star Wars Squadrons. It was a long time ago, but I did. I'm not against the idea if it's good. Have I ever heard of other liquors? One in particular, when I encountered, I thought, oh fuck that, it was called Ghost Pepper Infused Vodka. I would probably have to already be drunk to be able to drink something that would be infused with ghost pepper. But just right off the bat, I couldn't start drinking it sober. No, I would have to already be pretty shit faced before I'd be willing to give that a try.
Not even a challenge. This is too easy.
What was your suggestion, Archer? I mean, I've also played Star Fox, which is not really a space sim, but it is an on-rail flying shooter. I played Star Fox and the SNES Star Fox and Star Fox 64 on stream.
This mess.
Ghost Pepper's certainly considered weak today. How weak is Ghost Pepper compared to the what was it called? Not Pacquiao. What's it called? Was it Packy? Patchy? The one-chip challenge. Because I did that. I did 3 of those back to back to back. And, you know, I've talked about this many times before as well. And, you know, the spice, I'm not trying to sound like a badass here, the spice was definitely spicy, for sure. But the problem I had with the chip made me almost puke it up, was the flavoring of the chip.
Clean up this mess.
I felt like I was eating a triangle of charcoal. It was just so bad. I had to like choke the third chip down just because I couldn't stand the flavor. The spice wasn't as bad, or I should say wasn't as intolerable as the god-awful taste of those chips. And I know I could have handled the spice just fine, because the person that challenged me to do the 3-chip challenge gave me some jerky the same day, a little bit later, with the exact same level of spice on it, and that jerky was really, really good. Yes, again, it was still spicy, but the jerky was really, really tasty. So it's just like, oh my god, why are these chips? Why do these chips taste like they came out of somebody's asshole?
This is too easy. And stay down.
Level 25. Oh yeah. No new abilities this time?
Someone clean up this mess.